Imagine you're building a RAG system for a client or for your own knowledge application. In the earlier videos, we created a basic RAG pipeline where you query a PDF, split it into chunks, embed the chunks, store them in a vector store, retrieve the most relevant chunks, and then feed them to a language model to get an answer. It worked well, where you got answers from your documents and the system was fast and functional. But there's a major limitation. When the model gives you an answer, you have no way of knowing which part of your document it actually used. The model could be hallucinating, or it might have picked a chunk you did not intend. This is fine for a quick experiment, but in real-world application, especially when building AI tools for knowledge, work, education, or enterprise, this lack of transparency is a big problem. Users and developers need explainable AI, answers that come with evidence. Ideally, the system should tell you which page in your PDF the information came from, which exact chunk of text was used to answer the question, and even when the multiple sources were used, if the answer is composed from more than one part. This is what we're tackling in today's episode. We're moving from basic RAG to a source-aware RAG, or what you can think of as an explainable RAG. Here, every answer your model generates will be accompanied by the context it actually used, along with metadata like page numbers or chunk references. This not only improves trustworthiness but also helps developers and users verify, audit, and understand the answers. So in this video, we'll build a pipeline that loads a PDF and splits it into manageable chunks, embeds the chunk and stores them in the query vector, retrieves the most relevant chunks for a query, feed only the retrieved chunk to the LLM, and returns both the answer and the sources used. And by the end of this, you'll have a RAG system that is not only powerful, but also transparent and explainable, taking your knowledge application to a more professional and reliable level. First, we're going to do from .env import load.env. So this will be used to load our credential, as we already know. So in step 1, we're going to load a PDF. So to do that, from LangChain underscore community dot document loaders, I am going to import PyPDFLoader, define the loader object, define my file name, then I'm going to do documents equals to loader.load. In number 2, I'm going to split my document into chunks. And to do that, I'm going to use LangChain text splitters, and then inside it I'm going to import a recursive LangChain underscore text splitters, import a recursive character text splitter. Let me define my splitter function here. So text splitter equals to recursive character text splitter. The chunk size is, okay, let's call it 500, and then the chunk overlap, let's call it 100. Now in step 3, I'm going to create embeddings. So I'm going to import Hugging Face embeddings from LangChain underscore Hugging Face. And then I'm going to define an embedding model. The model name is going to be sentence transformers all mini LM L6 V2. In step number 4, I'm going to store embeddings in Chroma. And in vector store object, I'm going to define Chroma dot from underscore documents. I'm going to pass in my documents from chunks. Documents are chunks. So what have I defined it here? Okay, so I might have missed this. So after my splitter, I need to split my text into chunks here. So this is going to be text splitter dot split documents, and then I'm going to do documents here. Now here I'm going to pass in chunks as documents. As my embedding, I'm going to pass embeddings, and in place of collection name, I'm going to pass source aware rag. I'm going to run a similarity search. So here I'm going to pass in my query. We'll ask what is the report about. In place of retrieved docs, I'm going to do vector store dot similarity search, pass in my query, and then I'm going to extract top 3 results here. In the next part, I'm going to build context plus source. So in terms of my result, let me put down context text as a variable and then source as a list here. So for I doc in enumerate, I've extracted top 3 results, right? So I'll run a loop on it. Retrieve docs. What I can do is page equals to doc dot metadata dot get, and then I can extract page here. If I don't find any page, let me give NA. And similarly, in terms of source, I can do doc dot metadata dot get, and in place of source, I can provide source. If nothing is present, then a default value can be PDF. Now, now for context text, I'm going to just add whatever thing I have in this page content here. So content plus equals to F. So chunk I plus 1 plus n doc dot page underscore content. And for source, I can do source dot append. So this can be sources. Here I'll put sources. So in the append function, what I can append is I can append the chunk number. So the chunk can be I plus 1, and then for page, it can be the page that I've extracted above here. Then for source, I can do source just from this variable here, and then for content, I can do doc dot page underscore content. Now I can define my prompt. So 7 is going to be prompt lm with context. So for this, I'm going to import from LangChain group. I'm going to import chat group. from LangChain core dot prompts, I am going to import prompt template, and from LangChain core dot output parsers, I'm going to import str output parser. Let me define my LLM model, which will come from ChatGrok. ChatGrok, and then the model that I'll be using will be Llama 3.3 model. Okay, now after this, what I can do is I can define a prompt using my prompt template. So my prompt will come from template class. Then inside this, I'll first define my template. So answer the question only using the context below. Also provide the actual chunk during a retrieval along with the page number of the document where I can find that chunk. Along with this, what I would like to define is I'd like to define my context. So my context will be context. My question will be question, and then okay, what else? I think that will be sufficient. And then I'm going to define my input variables. So my input variables will be context and then question. Now what I can do is I can define my parser. So my parser is going to come from str output parser, and I'll define my chain. My chain will be prompt LLM, and then parser. And finally I can invoke, so basically do chain dot invoke, pass in the context text. So the context underscore text will come from context text, and then my question QUESTR question will come from the query. So finally I can print my answer here. So let me just print answer, and then for sources, what I can do is for src in sources, so I can first print out the chunk. So chunk is going to come from src chunk, and then its page number is going to come from src and then page. Then I can also print its content. So this will come from src content, and then let me print a horizontal line here. So now this is all my code. At first what we've done is we have retrieved our chunk from this vector store using this query here. The top three results, the actual content, the page number, as well as the source are extracted. The page number and source are extracted from the metadata, while the actual chunk is extracted from the page content, and then they appended into this sources list. Then I have my model, and then using my model and then using a prompt template, I'm passing it to an LLM and then a str output parser, and then getting my answer here. So there was a slight mistake in my code here. I had written context underscore test, but it should be context here. So once I run this code, I can see that my question was actually what is the report about. Where is my question? So yeah, it says that the report is about the audit of financial statement of institution nutrition of Central America and Panama. In cap, it extracts the following chunk for me. So chunk 1 and then chunk 2 and chunk 3. Uh, so whenever I try to print my sources, it not only provides me the actual answer, but the chunk part as well as the page number where this particular chunk is present. So this now becomes much more explainable for this particular answer here uh, in terms of its source, meaning in understanding where the source is actually coming from. So what we built today is a big step forward from our basic RAG system. We didn't just ask the model for answers, we asked it to show its work. By attaching page numbers and the exact document chunks to use to generate each response, we made our RAG pipeline transparent, verifiable, and trustworthy. So this is the foundation of what real-world production-ready RAG systems look like. Systems where users can trace answers back to their original sources instead of blindly trusting a black box. But this is still just one piece of the puzzle. Right now, our interaction is stateless. Every question is treated in isolation, and our interface lives in the terminal. That's fine for learning and experimentation, but not for real users. In the next part of this series, we're going to take this even further. We'll move from the terminal to a Streamlit-based chat interface, build a proper chat window, and introduce conversation memory so the system can understand follow-up questions, context, and intent across multiple turns. And that is where RAG starts to feel like a script and feel less like a script and more like an intelligent assistant. So this isn't the end, it's the beginning of building interactive, explainable, and conversational AI systems. I'll see you in the next episode again.